Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. It's before 7 in the morning. So last night I was like, oh, I need to film my May TBR. Do I want to film it now? No, I don't. I'm in my pyjamas. I don't want to film it. I'll film it when tomorrow morning. And then this morning I was like, I'm going to film this tonight. And I was like, no, do it. So here I am before 7 in the morning, feeling all slightly more awake than I did about 40 minutes ago, but ready to show you my May TBR. So I will start with my book club book. So my first book club book for my online book club, we're going to be reading Happy by Derren Brown. There is a sort of subtitle that goes with this, but I can't remember it. I've got this from the library. It's in there now, although I'm not sure whether or not I want to listen to it on audiobook. Derren Brown narrates some of it, but I do have it. I might do, for the first time ever, which I've never done before, listen to some on audio, some on, read some, which I think is probably quite an interesting experience for reading and etc. So I think I might do that. So, but I believe this is about being happy. It's non-fiction, and that's all I really know. So let me know if you've read that before and if it was any good. Another book with the same title, Happy by Fern Cotton, I've heard about recently, which I really want to get my little mitts on. So I've heard that's very good. I just punched myself in the cheek then. And then my other book club, my book club at work, we will be reading The Girl in the Red Coat by Kate Hamer, which is a book that I've read before. I read it I must have read it before last summer because I was recommending it to a lot of people for summer holiday reading. And it's a dual perspective tale told about a girl who gets abducted at a literary festival. She's quite young, I think she's about 5 or 6, and you hear it from her perspective and her mother's perspective, and then what happens after the abduction. I really enjoyed this when I read it and had recommended it to quite a few people last year. Just because it wasn't like your standard abduction tale. It went in a way that I wasn't expecting it to, which I don't want to say in case you haven't read it. But if you're looking for a summer holiday read, we're probably a bit early, it's only just May, then that's a good one for you. But yeah, anyway, this isn't a book wrap up, this is a book haul. This is a TBR. So yeah, I'll be reading that as well. So there's the 2 books I'll be reading for my book clubs. So unofficially, I've been sort of, because I want to read 150 books this year, and unofficially I've been doing something. I did it in January, March, and I'll be doing it again, where I try and read a book every other day, every other month, and I've managed it. In January and March I managed to read the equivalent of a book every other day in the month, so it's about 15 or 16 books. So I'm going for that again in May. It's always helpful when you've got quite a lot of books to finish up, which I do have going from April to May. But I also just picked a few short books, and I've just realised, oh no, I thought they were all published by Faber, but they're not. I've just picked a few short books that I've been meaning to get round to that will just help me sort of get to that every other book. And it fills me with, like, I feel successful when I'm reading a book every other month as well. So the 3 small books I've earmarked for this month are a play. First of all, The Seer by Ali Smith. Jen Campbell kindly got this for me because she's a babe. This is about a couple who are so bored in their relationship that when somebody turns up saying that they are the female character's sister, they just go along with it, even though they know that they both know that that person isn't her sister. I love reading plays. I read plays for the first time a few years ago, maybe last year, and need to get back into it. So looking forward to this. And also I just love this blue. Blue. The next book is one that I bought when I was on a recent booktube meetup, and that is Dear Ijeawele, or A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. So this is a little like We Should All Be Feminists, but it's a letter written to, I believe, her goddaughter. Her friend has asked her to write to her daughter to be reasons to be a feminist, and she's done that in here. So this is only a little short thing, but I love Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I love her writing. I love her. I love everything about her. So looking forward to this one as well. And then also at the beginning of the year, I made a sort of TBR of all TBRs for the year, constructed of people's favourite books from 2016. And I've come to call in that pile my slump buster pile. So if I'm ever in a slump or something, I know that there's a book in there that I will want to read because my booktube friends have recommended it as a favourite of their 2016. I'm trying to get Minnie to come up here because she's had a haircut, but she's feeling a bit shy. You come in. Do you want to come? Come on. Here she is. Look, little baby cat. Oh, you are a bit shy. Bye-bye, little puss. She's had a lion cut. She's cute, isn't she? So yeah, so out of that pile this month, I've picked Grief is the Thing with Feathers. First of all, because it is quite short. Secondly, because it's poetry, and I haven't read any poetry for a few months. And third of all, I keep hearing people talking about it again. So it's having a bit of a resurgence, so I thought I would read that. And then also off that pile, I've got Another Day in the Death of America by Gary Young. This has been spoken about even by myself a few times on this channel, let alone on other people's channels. It's about a random day picked in America and what gun violence happened that day. And let's have a look. How many children were killed that day? 10 young lives lost on this one random day to gun crime. So very important, and I've been meaning to read it for a long time. I read One this month by Sarah Crossan, and I read it last year, gave it 4 stars, really enjoyed it. Read it this year for my online book club. Fucking loved it, absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars, and I'd been thinking about it, and I can't recommend it to enough. Now, I remembered that I bought a proof from Any Amount of Books, like a long time ago, like October last year, by Sarah Crossan. It's also by someone else called Brian Conahan, and I don't know much about it because it doesn't give much away, except it's by 2 perspectives, Jess and Niku. But I thought, well, I loved that so much, I'm desperate to give this another part, desperate to get some more Sarah Crossan read, so I will be reading that as well. Another book, a book that I received from the publisher, which I'll be reading this month, is The Cows by Dawn O'Porter. It says that this is it's a powerful novel about 3 women judging each other but also themselves. In all the noise of modern life, they need to find their own voice. And this I really enjoy Dawn O'Porter's writing. I've read her 2 other books, which are both YA books, but they're not sort of like the angsty YA with manic pixie dream girl and old boys and things. They're like they come to more serious matters about family life, and one of the characters in her past book has lost her father, and just dealing with more pressing issues, I would think. And this I'm really excited about and can't wait to read it, so that will also be being read. Now I've got 3 library books here, a few of which I may have mentioned in previous TBRs, but I haven't read them. Minnie, you just keep flaunting yourself. The first one is The Post-Birthday World by Lionel Shriver. I was going to read this on Cozy Reading Night, but I just got so immersed in all my other ones that I didn't. This is about a couple, Irina and her partner Lawrence, and every year they go for and they're going for dinner for Lawrence's birthday with their friend Ramsey. So in one version of the story, Irina and Ramsey share a kiss, and in another version of the story they don't, and it just sort of branches off, and it just sounds like such an interesting concept to me. Mercedes recommended this to me a long time ago, and I was like, oh, I must read it, and I've got it out from the library now, so I will be getting around to reading that at some point. I've also got a book called Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. This is very similar to Another Day in the Death of America. It's about the justice system in the US, and also there's a good documentary on Netflix at the moment which has Brian Stevenson in it, so I wanted to get ahead of the documentary by reading this. And then finally is this really big one that I said I'm going to read for a while. I'm not even joking, these are really heavy. This is The Walking Dead Compendium 2 of the comic. I got this out earlier this year and didn't get around to reading it, so I had to send it back. These have all, I get it out from the library because they cost a fortune. This costs $60, so I get them out from the library, but they've always got reservations on them, and there's only like one that's in my whole county, so I have to get it read quickly. It's got to be back by the 12th of May, so I need to get it. It actually doesn't take as long as it looks, but I'm trying to get up to date with all of the comics before the new series comes back in... When's the new series back, David? October. I don't know why I'm shouting to David, he's asleep. So yeah, and there's about 6 compendiums, I think, so I've got quite a task on my hand because it takes quite a while for them to get here as well. So those are the books that I will be reading in the month of May. Now it looks like quite a lot, but as I said, I am trying to read a book every other day in May. What are you guys going to be reading in the month of May? It's getting a bit warm, and oh my god, it's so heavy I can't even pick it up. It's getting a bit it's getting a bit warmer now, isn't it? So there might be a bit of like balcony reading going on. Although I say it's getting warmer, it was 4 degrees yesterday and I had ice on my car the day before, so very, very cold. But these are the books that I will be reading in the month of May. Would love to hear what books you're planning on reading on the month of May, if you've read any of these books. And I will see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye!